Hey YouTube, I don't usually use fast move damage teams, but when you've already hit legend and there's not much left to play for, this is a team to get you through the end of the season. I have it in Catch Cup. I did it before Catch Cup during Great League. I know for sure if Shadow Vic is available. I don't actually know if Shadow Dragonair or Shadow Granbull is available. Either or, the concept is still the same whether you use these Pokemon or other Pokemon about fast move damage. The only thing I will say about fast move damage Pokemon is why each of these are so strong. So Shadow Dragonair is, I think, generally the safest out of all these, and that's why I have it on. I have it on Leaf for two reasons. One, it's the safest out of all these, because even in bad matchups against like Steel and stuff, you can do quite well. And even in the Froslass matchup, you win in the one shield. So just because you get to the Aqua Tail and Bisam very quickly. So it is generally a safe Pokemon to use as a fast move damage Pokemon, which is why I used it. Uh, my second strategy, I always say this when I use fast move damage teams like once or twice per season. If you are going to use a fast move damage team, don't make it obvious that you're using a fast move damage team. Don't have like a charmer on the lead going into a Shadow Vic, because then it's very obvious you have a fast move damage team. The fact that it's Shadow Dragonair can be paired with many Pokemon, so it allows you to kind of sneak that fast move damage through. Shadow Vic is, I mean, it's always was used as a just absolute destroyer of water type Pokemon, right? Grasshole was a very common team back in the day. Uh, it's just the Razor Leafer. It's a Razor Leafer, right? So the Razor Leaf is just very strong, very overpowering. Shadow Vic on top of that. You're rarely going to get to. You'll get to move sometimes, but as often you're using a lot of shields. Charm Gramble was another one of those where some people use Snarl Gramble because you can like trick people. You can like sneak in it as a safe swap with Snarl and then use like close combat and Crunch. So I don't mind if you want to use that strategy. I just find that the charm on Shadow Gramble is probably one of the most overpowering charms in the game. Um, and having close combat for the steals is a nice answer there. So let's look at the battles. There's not a ton of strategy. The strategy is to chip your opponent with the Dragon Breath and Aqua Tail Body Slam as much as you can. Try and get alignment in the back, or just like overpower them with fast move and have them left with the shield. So that's what we're seeing, right? I gotta move off. I'm going to shield. That was my game lag in there. I'm gonna shield basically just to try and keep this fast move damage alive as much as possible. Hope they can be left with a shield. Hope I can align switch. They give up into Lanturn. So here's your water. Here's your deletion. You can take a move and then farm down. So there's your Surf. There's your Razor Leaf 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, no problem. I'm out of move. Common Stunfisk, which is an interesting one when you have a flyer. But Razor Leaf and Leaf Blade is actually going to do quite a lot of damage against this ground Pokemon. So it doesn't even matter that I have a Charmer and a Dragon Breath user left. I'm just committing to the farm down. Shield. A couple more Razor Leafs is all I need. And this game is over. Because they did not adjust properly to the fast move team. And one Charm absolutely deletes that. Lanturn, again, this team is actually funny because Dragonair and Shadow Vic will both deal with Lanturns. So if you're seeing a lot of Lanturns, this team is actually not bad. They are staying in. That's the thing. If you don't have an answer for Shadow Dragonair can get very difficult. Be very difficult to go against because it's just like neutral against a lot of stuff, even against like Medicham and Lickitung, stuff like that. It hangs in there quite well. Get the full farm down, have move coming out, have alignment. There's a grass. I don't really have an answer for grass. I mean, it's not a grass poison, so charm is still neutral. Hopefully I can get to another move. I can. They are also going to have two moves coming out of this, essentially. And once they see my next Pokemon, they're probably going to realize that they need shield. I think Charm is the right one to come in because Razor Leaf isn't going to do much damage. A couple Charms will put this in the red. I'll probably have to shield twice, but that's fine. And it's a Venusaur. So it's 1v1 shield here. I can take a Razor Leaf. Or Frenzy Plant. I was going to try and get to the Acid Spray just so I can Charm down. But realize I'm not going to get to the Acid Spray. So I think I'm going to probably commit the shield. and still just may go Leaf Blade anyways. Because at this point, I'm like, if they don't shield, Leaf Blade's going to do way more damage than Acid Spray. And they do shield. This is still going to force them to throw here. And at this point, even with resisted Razor Leafs, a lot of the damage is done. So I still may be able to charm this down even though it's resisted. They come in here Superior. I charm that down. I think I'm going to get one more charm through before they get a move off. And look at that. Taking out a resisted Pokemon there. Jellicent Lead. Yeah, stay in this as long as you can. I don't have a move to throw is the only problem. So I wouldn't be surprised if I like Dragon Breath as much and try and bank this move and then like sacrifice Vic or something. Yeah, I tried to snipe and just sacrifice. I thought in the process was like, okay, if they have something that is going to take resisted moves, this is just a sacrifice. But the power of Dragonair is that you have a lot of moves that can be used in a lot of situations. So grab one shield, that's fine. I still have basically 2 moves banked here. They are at a move. I can live an X Scissor from this range. It'd be close. So I'm going to shield. And now I'm at like 2.5 moves. So Shadow Dragonair is going to put in some run here. Farm down. So that's big. Jellicent comes back in. That is unfortunate. If it Shadow Balls me, just lost all that energy. And it's a Venusaur in the back. So that's unfortunate. That's a top left. That's just me not being... If I was aware that they had energy, I probably could have swept out. But you know me. I don't count. So water on the lead. Sorry, my video is very delayed. My voice is talking, yet the animation... Not animation, but me like tapping my head there was like 4 seconds behind. Again, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to shield early. I know they have the Swampert, so I'm going to fight extremely hard for switch here. I'm willing to double shield this to get switch on the Swampert, right? Because when you have a Shadow Vic, it's just going to delete it in 2 seconds. So farm down, they may come back in Swampert, or they're just going to go Frost Dust. They get like easy farm down. Yes and no. You are double weak to ice with this team. Yeah, Dragonair, Shadow Vic are double weak to ice. Realize that they are going to farm me down. I'm not going to allow it. That chip right there is enough just to win this game. So they take me out. Okay, who cares? Now they come in here and get absolutely deleted, and now I can fast move down. Right? So when you're using teams like this, you got to think about like, what do I need to sacrifice? What do I need to save for a potential win condition here? Lickitung where it's tough, right? Is where you're going to get... This is a decent matchup. You lose, but it's a soft loss. In the ones. I can take a move and probably get to another move. So take that move. I should be able to get to a body slam before they take me out here. Yeah, so I could take this into 0. I expect them to shield. And the problem is when you do this and they shield, it automatically just makes your team worse. Right? Because now they have switch. You're going to have to shield back anyways because both back Pokemon are super glassy. So you just lost switch and you just lost your shield. And now they're going to line something on you. And they align a grass. So that's interesting. Meaning they do not have an answer. Well, this grass also has air release. So that is unfortunate. I could take one probably. Barely. I just go for the acid spray. It is super effective. Plus it would lower their attack. And hopefully I can just like charm and chip it a ton, right? So I'm charming, tipping a ton. They do get to a move. That's fine. I'll shield. And now, why Gramble is actually a pretty good closer on this team is that, I mean, I'm against a Medi. That's fine. But Crunch in close combat in most neutral situations is going to be very, very good. Like, there are some things like Azumarill or something that resist both. But for the most part, you're going to have something to throw at everything. And that damage does a lot. So Gramble is a pretty good closer. Dragonair is a pretty good lead. Defense Deoxys is tanky and has moves that come decently fast against this. So again, we're just shielding early. Got switch. And Steals is a huge problem for this team. So the question, is there a fast move that isn't just this? You can argue that counter, but no, counter's not the same fast move. Like it's a strong damage per energy, but it's not the same as as these moves. So the question is, as I go to fast move and look at damage, what is a good damage per turn? So charm, just to put in perspective, damage per turn, which is 1 turn, so is a, if you organize by damage per turn, which is aka 1 turn move, is charm at 5, razor leaf at 5, dragon tail 4.33, confusion at 4, right? So those are your fast moves. Gust, no, that doesn't help your steel matchup. What helps your steel matchup here? Well, counter as a damage per turn is 4. So you could argue counter. In terms of overall damage, obviously, it's not the same. But you know what? Counter is pretty high in terms of overall damage as well. So you could use like a counter user that just has like a Toxicroak or a Toxicroak. Like Medicham's obvious one, but if you actually want to use that fast move damage potential, Toxicroak, Surfetched, just think of the glacier, harder hitting fighters that are out there. So basically the glass cannon fighters. So glass cannon fighters in terms of like I'd replace Shadow Vic, because you already have an answer for Swampert, right? It's a Dragonair. Dragonair will deal with Swampert quite easily. So you can go something like Dragonair, Surfetched, or Toxicroak, Granbull. Back would be a little, well, if you use Toxicroak, you will also resist a lot of the grass moves being half poison. So I think Toxicroak's not a bad fast move Pokemon to throw in there. Plus, it's one of those fast move Pokemon that fit the bill of being able to kind of sneak through of, this isn't just a fast move damage team with Dragonair and Toxicroak, but then you have like the Granbull hiding in the back. So that, off the top of my head, that might not be a bad idea. Ton of damage here. Now, where do I go here? Come in here, get the charm. I'm going to have to shield once. Hopefully they don't bait me. They don't bait me. If they baited me, they maybe could have got to another one, but I wasn't counting. Charge Bug, instant swap here, which was a mistake. What I should have done was charmed like 2 or 3 and then switched into this to absorb the damage. I do get to a Leaf Blade, which is actually quite nice, because this, resisted or not, is still going to chip a ton. Now the question is, are they stupid and they throw X-Scissor, which is resisted? They do, which is resisted. Discharge would have hurt. I don't know if Discharge would have fully taken me out, but it would have hurt. X-Scissor is resisted, so that is not happening. Defense Deoxys, instant throw. Oh, please don't tell me I just uploaded the same one again. Psycho Boost, and then they got into a... Is this the same one? Is this the second time I've done this? Or is this just the same team? Well, like same idea of a team. I was talking about movesets when this was on in the background last time. Get a second move off. Take this lower, grab a shield. I prefer to take it low, and I do. Either or is fine to chip this as much as I can. Take out, that's huge. Defense Deoxys comes in, which means they are pretty weak in the back to this. I'm going to shield 100%. If you're coming in Defense Deoxys, knowing you have to Psycho Boost and bail. Gligar, what? Okay, interesting. I guess Gligar, no. I don't love this. I would have come Gligar because I think Gligar could just get to the Aerial Aces really quick. Did as much damage as I can, but they're going to get to back-to-back Aerial Aces here, so it won't matter. And this Aerial Ace should be able enough to... If it didn't take me out, it's going to put me like 1 wing attack away. Yeah. And if you're still around, this is the last matchup. Hopefully we get the news about the season. I was going to say soon, but let's be realistic. The league's turning over on Friday. December 1st is a Friday again this year, which is the worst for me. But that is when the season turns over, which means I would not be surprised if the news comes Tuesday or Wednesday. Maybe they'll give it to us on Monday and be nice, but realistically it's Tuesday or Wednesday. I gotta try to maximize my I was like, I try to maximize my office days this week. So I'm in the office downtown. That's why if you're on my friends list, which a few of you are, you'll see some days you just get like local parks where I live because that's where I play Pokemon Go 80% of the time. Other times you're getting Parliament of Canada, Library of Canada, Library of Parliament, I mean, and all the downtown stuff because I'm downtown Ottawa 2 times a week. And I go and grind during my lunch. That's the only time I really grind Pokemon Go is during my lunch hours here. Oh yeah, close combat for the win. And if the league turnover is on Friday, the problem is, not that it's a problem. When Niantic drops news, it's really a race to who can post about it first. And a lot of these guys, Home Slice, Yonkis, are like stay at home. I don't even know if they, I know Home Slice had a job at one point. I think he went full-time content creation. And I know Yonkis was doing some studies, but I know he's full-time content creation too. So they always had the first ability to like shoot a video and go, especially if I'm in the office all day. So the one thing I'm worried about is them dropping the news. I usually go on Friday because that's league turnover, so there's less likely that that's going to affect me. Just my other day that week, I was thinking about going in Tuesday, but I can very much see them dropping news Tuesday. So I don't know. We'll see. If they do drop news Tuesday, I'll just have to cover it Wednesday morning, even if it's a little late. But that is it. So that's the fast move damage team. Yeah. So that is it. Thanks for watching. And I will see you guys in the next one.